Happy after work, Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. I hope you had a wonderful first 3 quarters of the day. And we are going to read about this. Only the Trees Know. Only the Trees Know by Jane Whittingham and Sinye Chu. Now, look. We are happy that we don't have any snow. I don't know why I grabbed this library book, but it was in the stack, and I never know what's next. So we have no snow. We're thankful for the beautiful weather that we had today. So let's still see what this is about. You see a rabbit, you see a hare, and when will it be spring? Well, we have spring now. When will it be spring? Remember those days when it was snowy and it was 30s and, well, 30s kind of warm, but in the 20s, and we couldn't wait till spring would occur. Well, here we are now, and I hope we're enjoying every moment of spring, planting flowers and everything. Little Rabbit is tired of waiting. He misses sunny days like this and playing with his friends. Be patient, his parents say. But Little Rabbit isn't very good at being patient. Are you being patient? Are you good at it? What are you waiting for? I'm waiting for some things too. Only the trees know, his grandmama says. But when Little Rabbit asks the trees, nothing happens, or so it seems. Maybe Little Rabbit simply needs to look a bit closer. Yeah. So yeah, we are in full bloom. Look at the beautiful birds. Yeah, they came back and they're having a good time. So every season we should enjoy. But for now, oh my goodness. This is like from 4 months ago in January. Oh, winter in the old forest was cold, dark, and very long. Even though we didn't have a bad winter this year. No, not at all. The winds blew and bit. The trees shivered and shook. And the snow fell and fell until it seemed that the whole world was covered in a thick white blanket. I would say we might have had like maybe a couple weeks from winter 22 to 23, but not as bad as it could have been. Many of Little Rabbit's friends had left the old forest for warmer places. Others lay curled up in their burrows, waiting for spring to return. Under trees, yeah, asleep, hibernating. Well, Little Rabbit was hungry, bored, and very tired of winter. His thick fur coat kept him toasty warm, so he didn't feel winter's chill. But he missed the sunny days of spring. I tell you, let's be thankful. When he had fresh grass to eat, soft meadows to leap through, and plenty of friends to play with. Come on, let's be happy with whatever season it is. Come on, Little Rabbit. When will it be spring, Little Rabbit asked his parents. Winter will move on when it is ready. You have to wait, said his mama. Spring will come in its own time. Be patient, Little Rabbit, said his papa. Little Rabbit didn't like waiting, and he didn't like being patient. Again, what do you need to be patient with? I could think of 2 things I need to be a little more patient about. He decided to ask Grandmama Rabbit. She was the oldest, wisest rabbit in the entire forest. Surely she would know when spring would come. When will it be spring? Little Rabbit asked Grandmama. When will it be? Spring will come, Little Rabbit, but only the trees know when. Ask them, and they will tell you, said Grandmama. It's a cool grandma name. Maybe I'll have my grandkids call me Grandmama. So Little Rabbit went to see the trees, which shivered and shook in the blowing, biting wind. Little Rabbit looked up, up, up. He cleared his throat. Excuse me, he said to the trees. When will it be spring? Little Rabbit waited, but the trees didn't answer. Maybe, thought Little Rabbit, the trees hadn't noticed him. He was a little rabbit, and the trees were very tall. Little Rabbit balanced on his tippy toes, and he stood on his head. He waved his paws, and he wiggled his ears. He jumped up and down and spun around until he was dizzy. Still, the trees didn't answer. Oh, you think the trees heard him? Uh-oh. What's going on here? Maybe, thought Little Rabbit, the trees hadn't heard him. He did have a little rabbit voice, and the trees stood so high above him. Little Rabbit shouted up to the spindly branches, and he shouted into the sturdy trunks. He shouted in a high voice, and he shouted in a low voice. He shouted and shouted until his throat was sore. Can you think of times when you had a sore throat? Oh my goodness. It's so important when we don't have like sicknesses, like stuffy nose, stomach aches. We should be so happy because we take for granted when we feel normal. I know I do. But when you get that, when you swallow, or when you're stuffed up and you can't breathe, you're congested, or what about if your tummy is talking to you? Well, he kept on shouting. He got a sore throat. Still, the trees didn't. Exactly. It didn't answer. None of them. Maybe, thought Little Rabbit, he hadn't heard their answer. He was proud of his ears, but they were still Little Rabbit ears, and the trees were so very big. Little Rabbit pressed his ears against the knobby bark, and he pushed his ears against the ground. He pressed them against one tree, and he pushed them against another. He scrambled up a tree as high as he could, and scrambled back down again. Still, the trees did not answer. The winds blew and bit, and the trees shivered and shook, and Little Rabbit began to lose hope. Oh no. He plopped down on the ground, feeling sorry for himself and tired after all that jumping and shouting and listening. He nestled into the roots of a tree to have a little, rest. Yeah, later on, I hope you get some good rest. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, good night's sleep. But still, we have a few hours left. As he drifted off to sleep, Little Rabbit's nose went twitch, twitch, twitch. There was a smell in the air he hadn't smelled for many months. It was the warm scent of soil spilling out from between the tree's cold, tangled roots. Let's clap for the roots. Then Little Rabbit's ears went twitch, twitch, twitch. There was a sound of the wind he hadn't heard for many months. It was the merry song of a bird landing on a branch above him. Ooh, nature would tell you. Yeah. Little Rabbit looked up. There among the bare branches, his eyes saw something they hadn't seen for many months. The tiniest of buds, green and fresh and full of promise. Could it be that the trees had understood him all along? Look! Yes! Spring! When will it be spring, Little Rabbit asked the trees once again. And this time, without a word, the trees answered, soon. And here we are in middle of spring. Oh, I hope we're enjoying ourselves. Yep, because I think spring happened March, end of March, and now we're at the end of May. So we've had 2 full months of spring. Let's enjoy. We have 1 more month. Jane Whittingham, the author, is a children's librarian. Oh, how fortunate is she? And the author of several picture books. While she waits for spring to come, she entertains herself with tea. Oh my goodness, I have tea on the stove. I better get to it. And books. She lives with her family in Burnaby, British Columbia. And Xenia Chu studied illustration at the Maryland Institute College of Art and has worked on books, board games, and more. Interested in sustainable living, she dreams of someday planting her own spring vegetable garden and living somewhere close to nature. She divides her time between Colombia and Taiwan. Hey, listen, go out and enjoy whatever weather, whatever season you find yourself in while you're listening and watching this. And just, let's not take for granted the moments, but let's celebrate whatever season. All right, enjoy the evening, enjoy life, and enjoy the season.